How do you build square metal duct? If you want to learn how to build square metal duct, today I'm going to give you the full guide from the machines that I use, the tools that I use, and step by step how to build this duct, how to insulate it, how to spot pin it, and then how to put it together. You're watching HVAC Tips for Technicians. I'm Tad. This is Taddy Digest. Let's go. Now we need to know what size duct we need to build. So typically we use an air duct calculator or a ductulator to figure out what size duct we need if we're installing a 3-ton unit, a 4-ton unit, or a 5-ton unit. For today's example, I'm just going to build something small. So I'm going to choose a piece of scrap metal out of the bottom of the design table, and I'm just going to do something small like 4 by 8. So I may need 2 pieces of metal. I don't think I will. I may be able to make it out of 1, but I'll go ahead and put 2 up here. So we got to know what to add. If we're building square duct, we could build it in 1 piece, but typically we build it in 2 pieces. So I'm going to build it in 2 pieces, show you how to insulate it and put it together in today's video. So I'm going to build my duct 4 inches by 8 inches, something super small. As far as how long, I think I'll just use however long this is. Let's just do maybe something super small, probably 20 inches. So we're going to make that duct 4 inches by 8 inches. We're going to make 2 pieces of duct. It's basically going to be 2 L's like this. It's going to be 4 inches by 8 inches, 4 inches by 8 inches, and then it's going to go together like this, right? One side's going to have the slip, one side's going to have the Pittsburgh on each piece of duct that's going to build our rectangular ductwork. So we're not going to worry about adding the Pittsburgh or the slip on our longer side, right? It's going to be 20-inch long duct. We're going to worry about that on our shorter sides, our 4 by 8. But we're going to have to add 4 to 8. Most sheet metal guys, they see what they're making in their mind before they make it. They know, they're calculating. They're good at numbers because this is what they do. So we're going to take our tape measure. We're going to go ahead and make our 20-inch mark since our duct's going to be 20 inches long. Right there's our 20-inch mark. We're going to go down here. We're going to make another 20-inch mark right there. That's how long our duct's going to be. We don't have to worry about adding the adding for our Pittsburgh or our slip yet. And we're going to go over that. Now we're going to line up the mark with our stomp shear. If you don't have a stomp shear, you can mark this all the way down and use hand snips. All right, so now we got this sheet of metal and it's 20 inches long. All right, 20 inches long. Now we want our first piece of duct to be 4 by 8. All right, so we're going to take 4 and 8. We're going to add those together. So that's going to make 12. Then we're going to add 1.5 inches because one side is going to have a 1/2 inch slip. One side is going to have that 1 inch for the Pittsburgh, that lock. So what are we going to do now that this is 20, well this is 20, wait, where am I at? 20 inches. All right, this is 20 inches. Now we're going to go and mark our duct. There's 4. All right, we got to go to 12. That makes the 8. And then we're going to go another 1.5 inches. So 12, 13 and a half. 13 and a half. All right, now we're going to go ahead and cut it again. So we're going to line up the mark on each side. That way it's nice and even. All right. Now, remember this is our long side. This is how long the duct's going to be. And this is our short side. All right. So now we can go ahead and mark our slip and our Pittsburgh. Okay. So we're going to go ahead and do that now. So we're going to mark one side's going to be our slip. We're going to put it on the 4-inch side. So slip over here. We're going to use our scribe using that 1/2 inch. There's our slip. All right, there's the 1/2 inch. Now I'm going to go ahead and mark my 1 inch on the other side. There's my 1 inch. Now, since we're going to take and bend this duct, I'm going to go ahead and mark the 1 inch on the other side. So right here and right here. And then we're going to make a mark. All right, we're going to go, this is our lip, which is 1/2 inch. And then we add our 4 inches, so it's 4.5. And this is where we're going to cut with our snips. That way we can bend the duct. So same thing on the other side. 4.5 inches right there. Mark it all the way up to the 1 inch. Now that we've marked our slip and our Pittsburgh, right? Pittsburgh's 1 inch. So you got the square right here, and then 1/2 inch over here. We're going to take our snips and we're going to cut where those two corners meet. All right. And then go over here. Now we're going to cut where we're going to make our bend. And we're going to make it all the way to the 1 inch line. All right. And if you measured this correctly, this is exactly 4.5 inches. Now we're going to cut our slip. And that's that 1/2 inch mark. And there it is. Now we can go ahead and run this through the Pittsburgh machine so we have that lock. Now, before we use our Pittsburgh machine, you want to make sure that you know what side you're bending and which side you're doing the Pittsburgh on. So don't make a mistake and use your 1/2 inch side. You want to use the 1 inch side, okay? Because you can see it's clearly 1 inch on each side. All right, now we're going to turn the Pittsburgh machine on. We're going to slide it up against, and then we're going to take and slowly push it in. All right, here we go. And you want to keep it up against, and look at there. There's our lock right there. There's our Pittsburgh. Turn off the Pittsburgh machine. Let's go ahead and go right over here to the brake. And we're going to bend the 1/2 inch slip first. So we marked a bending line, so we have that bending line to reference. Make sure that you close the brake on the bend line. Did I say bending line? Like line was bending, like right now? 90-degree angle for that slip. Would you just look at it? Bring it out. Now we're going to bend where we cut. This is going to mark for the 4 inch side. Oh, looks like I'm a little bit off right there. There we go. 90-degree. Oh. Now I'm going to show you something with this next piece that you can do that's optional. But look at that. Look at that. Now what do we need? We need one more piece because this is only half the duct. But we're not going to put this duct together until we insulate it. So let's go ahead over here and let's go ahead and build our next piece. Do you remember the measurements? Because I don't. I'm just kidding. All right. Remember, 20 inches first. All right, 20 inches first. So let's mark our 20. Boop. Mark it 20. Boop. Come over here. I'll show you how to use the 10 snips real quick. So grab this. Line it up. All right, got it lined up. Boop. Grab the 10 snips or the hand shears. Cut it right on that line. Now, it's 20 inches long. Now we need it to be 4 by 8 plus 1.5 inches. So the total is going to be what? What did we say? 13.5? Stomp shear. Now, we're making the 4-inch side have the slip and the 8-inch side has the Pittsburgh. You can see how this is going to go together. So what do we want to do first? Of course, double check, 13.5, 13.5, 20. We're in good shape. All right, now, what do we do next? We go ahead and, I'll go ahead and do it differently this time. I'll go ahead and mark at 4.5 inches, right here. 4.5 inches, so that's something less I have to do. All right, there's 4.5 inches. And then let's go ahead and use our scribe now. All right, you remember how we do the scribe, right? 1/2 inch for the slip. All right. There's a 1/2 inch. And then the 1 inch on the side we're going to cut. All right. Oh. Careful, you can cut yourself. This is our Pittsburgh. This is our 8-inch side. All right. We've used the scribe, marked everything. Now we use the hand snips. I'll go ahead and cut where we're going to bend. That 4-inch mark. Over here we've got our 1/2 inch slip. Over here we got our 1 inch Pittsburgh. Go to the other side. 1/2 inch slip. Four-inch bend. 1 inch Pittsburgh. There it is. Now, we got another piece here. Go ahead and use the Pittsburgh machine. We got our Pittsburgh. Remember not to bend it the wrong direction. Now I'm going to show you something that if you've got a long piece of duct, you know, you're using a whole 4x8 sheet, there's something you may need to do because that duct is so big, you may need to add some strength. So this is something that is done in the field as well. And it's what you're doing is you're cross breaking. So how do you cross break? You basically take where you're going to bend, right? You put that into the break, and then you go over to the other corner like this. All right? Right there. And you just bend it just a little bit. Like that. See? You're making that little mark. And then you go to the other side where the corner lines up. Right there. Same thing. Like that. See? Double cross break. And this just makes it a little bit more rigid, tough, you know, that way it's more durable. Now we got this double cross broken piece of metal. We're going to go ahead and put it in the brake and bend it. So what are we going to bend first? We're going to bend that 1/2 inch slip. Make sure I get it in there on the bend line. I think that looks pretty good. 90 degree. There it is. Pull it out, go to the 4-inch mark now. Looks pretty good right there. Right there, 90 degree. Now that we have these two pieces of metal formed the way we want, now you can see how it can go together. I'm gonna go ahead and show you how to insulate and spot pin. If you are doing sheet metal work, you need to protect yourself. So get some gloves, wear some gloves. Now we're gonna insulate these, so we need to know what the length is and the width. That way we know what to cut our insulation. So it looks like 20 inches, of course. And then this side should be 4. And this side should be 8. So that makes 12. All right, so we're gonna do 2 pieces of insulation that are gonna be 20 by 12. So we come over here, got this piece right here. I'll go ahead and cut this end off right here, all the way down. You'll need a razor knife. All right, now I'm going to come over 12 inches. So bring this in to where that's 12. Look at that. This just makes it so much simpler. All right, come over here. Now this is 12, so we need this 20. And we can go ahead and cut it 20 and 40. So 40. All right, that's 40. And then this would be 20. All right, here's our 2 pieces. Now at this point, you can bring it over here and slip it in one side and make sure it's gonna work, right? We know it's gonna work. We're gonna go ahead and take both of our pieces of insulation. This is 1-inch liner, by the way. That's standard right now. Lay those right there. Grab our glue gun. Make sure you have proper ventilation. We got a vent hood above us. You know, I know some of you guys in the comments are like, oh my gosh, when I'm using spray foam, you're like, you're gonna have capoxyloxamixanoxanixanox or some disease or whatever. For me, I mean, I've been in the crawl space since I was 14. I mean, breathing in dust and whatever else. I'm fine. I work with guys that have been doing this a lot longer than that, and they're fine. I mean, sure, we eat with dirty hands, but we'll be all right. Air compressor's on. We've got plenty of glue inside, and this is turned on, of course, to shut off. So now we should be able to spray. That right there. Putting glue all over the metal. That way we have a good adhesive, a good binder to hold that insulation in place. Now, I'll do this where you can see it. Put the insulation down. And then I cut this a little bit longer than it should be, but I did it so I could show you. If it's too long, come right here with your razor knife and you go along that slip, right? See that? Look at that, beautiful. And then what you can do, push it in the corner and then you can cut the corner if you want. That's what I like to do. Next piece. All right, same thing. It's a little bit long, that way I can show you. It's easy to trim it, to fit. That's why you keep your razor knife right beside you. And then look at that. Cut where it bends. Look at that. Now, let's take it to the spot pinner. Now you got to be careful. If you put too much glue, you can have a flame, and I'll show you if it does it. Oh, turn the power on, Tad. There you go. Good job. You can do it. Beautiful. Beautiful. Look at that flame. Here. Beautiful. I'm not going to do the other side, but typically, you know, you would have it. This is just such a small piece of duct. We really don't need it. Turn off the spot pinner. Now let's put it together. Now you want to take a flathead screwdriver and open up the Pittsburgh. So you just take your flathead, you put it in the Pittsburgh, and you just go along the opening and just kind of turn that flathead screwdriver, just opening up that lock. What does this do? Helps you be able to put the slip in. So that one's done. You can see the difference. If you look at this and this, you see this one's opened up. It's going to be much easier for us to put that slip inside of the Pittsburgh. So same thing, I'm just opening this one up. It's super simple. Doesn't take very long, but what does it do? It helps you to be able to beat this duct together quicker on the job and not have to struggle. Plus, you don't want to ruin the slip, the edge of the slip, and I'll show you exactly what I mean once we take this duct. We line it up. All right, and then we insert the first edge. Make sure that the edges match. Look, edges match. Over here, do they match? Yep, they match. Now what do? Tap it, and then, all right, come down here to the middle. All right, I'll turn this around so you can see it. Come down here. Now that's held in place. Same thing right here. Make sure it's lined up. And it looks like it is pretty much lined up. All right, tap it. All right, come down here. And come down here. Now, it's not going anywhere. Barely any air is going to flow through this thing. No, I'm just kidding. All right, now, what do we do to finish the rest of the process of beating it, you know, to where it's nice and smooth? We take the edge of the hammer. And just come right here, like this. Same thing. And then you can look at it and see, oh, is it all smooth or did I make any mistakes? And it looks like we're in good shape. That is how you build a piece of square or rectangular ductwork. Hope you enjoyed this video. I hope that you learned what tools you need and the process. And I hope that now you have a better understanding. And maybe if you have some of these machines like the brake, stomp shear, maybe even the hand shears, and the Pittsburgh spot pinning machine, insulating table, liner, glue, you can be able to do this and you can be able to help somebody with their heating and cooling needs. If you like this video, hit the like button, subscribe, and smash that bell, ding, so you know what I'm doing. You want more videos like this? Go check out my playlist, HVAC Tips for Technicians. I've got hundreds of videos of live experience in the field as a technician to help you be a better technician. You've been watching HVAC Tips for Technicians. I'm Tad, this was Taddy Digest, and I'll keep you cool if you let me.